Brothers. It's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Video games is a mode of interaction between a player, a machine with an electronic visual display, and perhaps other players that is mediated by a meaningful fictional context and strengthened by an emotional attachment between the player and the consequences of her action within this fictional context. Video games are well known for its drawbacks and its negative effects young adults in the terms of their physical and mental health, academic performance, and behavior. Nevertheless, there are still surprising benefits that can be found in playing video games, such as improve their health in the areas of psychological treatment as well as improve cognitive abilities.
Video games are known for bringing a lot of negative impacts on the physical and mental health of players, as there are also news that players are dying due to excessive amount of game playing. So, how can video games cause us death? Well, video games can cause the players to become lazier and less sociable, which can eventually lead them to catch some egregious health conditions such as obesity and depression. However, despite this popular belief, there are actually some researches that shows video games can actually benefit our health. One research states that video games can assist in the rehabilitation after a stroke and reduces post-traumatic flashbacks. Video games can also become a source of stress reliever and distract players of their worries. In these days, there are many game consoles that requires players to move, such as Nintendo Wii and Xbox Kinect. These types of games can actually motivate players to move and tackle the problem of obesity.
When you talk about video games, the general public would usually correlate it with academic performances. While it has become an integral part of our lives, it can give a negative impact on academic performances. This is because when they are excessively engaged with video games, they would be too distracted with the game and are unable to give their fullest attention in academics. Behaviors such as missing classes and skipping homework are the side effects of excessive video gaming. Nevertheless, video games are not all bad. They also give benefits to the users. It was found that moderate usage of video gaming can improve the cognitive abilities such as reasoning, spatial abilities, and memory. This is because it stimulates the frontal lobe of the brain, which is involved in cognitive processing. Through a research in 2013, it was found that gamers have better cognitive abilities as compared to non-players. By enhancing their cognitive abilities, they are also able to improve their academic performances indirectly.
Okay, so last but not least, people have always associated video game players with negative social behavior. The popular belief is that video games, especially those that feature violence and fighting as main attraction, are major contributors to the player's aggressive behavior and lack of empathy. A research conducted in 2014 had supported the fact, stating that frequent exposure to violent video gameplay can increase players' aggressive behavior and decrease their prosocial responses. This is because players will tend to normalize the violent action as something ordinary, leading them to become more aggressive.
Oh no!
They will also tend to interpret their surrounding with more hostile expectations and negative thoughts. However, other researchers debated differently. They argued that violent video games can actually help develop the player's prosocial behavior through the addition of various predominant prosocial goals than violence itself in the game, like a game that requires you to shoot a bomber in order to protect the civilians. Actually, the only thing that matters is for the players to think wisely and take the good example only from the video games they played.
All in all, it can be said that there are always two sides to a coin, the good and the bad.
It is not fair to generalize video games as something that can bring harm to the society due to the doings of irresponsible parties that are not smart enough to manage their time to play video games wisely. Hence, it can be substantiated that video games can actually bring positive impacts on health academic performance and behavior of young adults if games are really useful for us.